Welcome to London, 1880. This is not the city of high society, but the final, desperate stop for the poorest and most forgotten souls. Peer through this keyhole into a harsh reality where the boundary between life and death is as thin as a single cold winter breath. This institution was designed to be the ultimate deterrent, a place so grim that only those with no other choice would ever dare to enter. Meet the faces of the fallen, men whose dignity has been stripped by misfortune, now seeking shelter in the only place that will still take them. Every wrinkle tells a story of survival in a city that has moved on without them, leaving them to rot at the gates of hell. Beyond these walls, the British Empire flourishes, but here, in the shadows of the clock tower, time seems to have stopped for the broken poor. The gates open not to welcome, but to imprison. Once you step inside, you leave behind the world of the living for a life of shadows. Step into the courtyard where the air is heavy with the scent of cold smoke and despair, a place where hope goes to die quietly. This is the workhouse, a monument to Victorian morality where poverty is treated as a crime and the punishment is a life of utter misery.
How much longer do we have to wait?
The receiving ward, a cold transition room where the final remnants of your former life are about to be stripped away. The 1834 Poor Law was heartless. It dictated that families must be broken. Mothers were torn from children, and husbands separated from their wives forever. In this moment, the bond of family is severed by the state. The tears of a mother carry no weight in the eyes of the law. Family was considered a luxury the poor could not afford. Men and women were sent to different wings, never to speak to each other again. Your clothes, the last symbols of your identity, are taken and replaced with the pauper's uniform, a badge of shame worn for the whole world. Even the smallest mementos of a better life are confiscated. You're no longer a person with a history, you are simply a number now. The uniform is designed to be uncomfortable and degrading, a constant physical reminder of your failure to thrive in the harsh Victorian economic world. Children were not spared from this humiliation. This boy is now just another unit of labour. His childhood ended the moment he crossed the threshold. The isolation is the true punishment. In the workhouse, silence is the only companion left for those who have lost everything they ever loved. Welcome to the labour yard, where the work is not meant to be productive, but to break your spirit and your body through sheer exhaustion. Every strike of the hammer is a testament to the cruelty of the system. You must earn your meagre keep through back-breaking. Mindless physical toil. There is no rest for the weary here. The supervisors watch every move, ensuring that the pace of labour never falters throughout the long day. The rhythm of the hammers becomes the heartbeat of the workhouse, a relentless sound that echoes the hopelessness felt by every man in this yard. Inside the oakum room, the air is thick with the smell of tar. Women and children spend 14 hours a day unpicking old ship ropes. Your fingers bleed as you pull the fibres apart. The tar is hard and stubborn, but you cannot stop until your daily quota is met. This is the true meaning of hard labour. It is designed to be so miserable that people would rather starve than come back here again. Disease and exhaustion go hand in hand. The dust from the ropes and the stones fills the lungs, leading to a slow and painful decline. Even the children must labour. There is no play, no education, and only the endless repetition of tasks designed to punish the sick and poor. The message from the authorities is very clear. Life inside must be significantly worse than the most difficult job in the outside world of freedom. The overseer's gaze is a constant weight. Any sign of laziness or rebellion is met with the loss of food or a stint in solitary confinement. Mealtime provides no comfort. The dining hall is a place of discipline where the food is as meagre and cold as the surroundings themselves. The staple diet is gruel, a thin mixture of oatmeal and water. It is barely enough to sustain life, let alone fuel the hard labour. A single bowl of this tasteless liquid and a small piece of hard, dry bread is often all that stands between a pauper and starvation. Hunger is a constant companion. Every drop of gruel is precious, and the sight of an empty bowl brings only the dread of tomorrow's hunger. The bread is often stale and hard as stone, but to the starving inhabitants of the workhouse it is a treasure beyond any price. Silence is strictly enforced. No talking, no sharing, and no laughing. Even a whisper during a meal can lead to your rations being taken away. They eat like ghosts, their minds as empty as their stomachs. The act of eating has become become a mechanical process of staying alive for another day. Look at these faces drained of hope and vitality. This is what the state-mandated diet of poverty does to the human spirit and body. The desperation of a hungry child is the cruelest sight of all. Here, even the natural instinct to share is suppressed by the fear of punishment. The rule of silence is absolute. It is designed to prevent any sense of community or solidarity among the poor, keeping them isolated and weak. When the meal ends, the hunger remains. They return to their labour, their bellies half full but their souls completely empty in this house of sorrow. Night offers no escape. The dormitories are cold. Crowded hall where the poor are packed together like cattle in the darkness of the ward. The flickering light of a single lamp reveals a world of shadows, where the privacy of a home is replaced by the cold gaze of others. The blankets are thin and provide no warmth. Sleep is often interrupted by the cold, the coughing of the sick, and the sound of distant weeping. In the quiet of the night, the true horror sets in. It is not the fear of dying, but the fear of being completely forgotten. Every breath is a struggle. In these walls, your life has no value to the world outside. You are a ghost while still being alive. The wind carries the sounds of the city, a world of freedom and life that is now forever out of reach for those trapped here. The watchman's footsteps are a reminder that even in sleep you are under the control of the institution. There is no such thing as privacy. A child's tears are silent here. They learn quickly that crying brings no comfort, only the risk of being noticed by the harsh dormitory masters. The moonlight reveals the stark reality of the workhouse. It is a prison without song or bars, a cage built of social stigma and poverty.
Please watch over my family.
Some turn to prayer,
and give them
seeking
peace.
a mercy that the world has denied them. For many, the only hope left is the peace of the grave. This is the night in the workhouse, a time of quiet desperation, where the only dignity left is the silence of one's own suffering heart. These were the real people of the Victorian age. They were not statistics, but fathers, mothers and children who fell through the cracks of history. As we add colour to their world, we see them as they were. They lived, they suffered, and they endured in a system that hated them. Her smile is a whisper from the past, a brief moment of humanity in a place designed to destroy it completely. She remembers us today. He nods as if to say goodbye, a soul finally finding peace after a lifetime of labour and the indignity of the pauper's final home. The sun sets on the era of the workhouse, but the echoes of its cruelty still linger in the foundations of our modern social conscience. We pull back from this dark chapter, leaving the spirits of the workhouse behind, but we must never forget the lessons their lives have taught. The door to the past is closing. The voices of the poor are fading, but their gaze remains fixed upon us through the lens of time. Remember them. Remember that poverty is not a crime, and that every human being deserves to live and die with their dignity fully intact. This has been a journey into the shadows of the Victorian workhouse. May we carry their stories forward into a much kinder and brighter future.